What's up, guys? Carl Gown back with the video, and today I want to talk about Nik Bonitto there. Yes, there. So, technically, Michael Parsons there just technically broke out the news there. The Cowboys have traded Michael Parsons to the Green Bay Packers there, so he is technically a Packer there. No matter what there, we should have played against this guy no matter what, if he was playing for Dallas or Green Bay there. But he's actually a pretty good edge rusher there. But how this is mostly going to affect Nik Bonitto there, our pass rusher there from the Broncos. Technically, Bonitto there, he knows how to mostly get into the edges and stuff like that. He did pretty well last year. Mostly intercepting two balls interceptions there last year, and Bonitto there needs to get more into the contract thing there, and because we don't want to lose Nik Bonitto in free agency there. We didn't really respond there and try to sign Nik Bonitto as the next possibly runner-up there. Possibly we'll see what actually happens with the Broncos there, but we need to know about Bonitto, knowing how Bonitto is actually mostly gonna affect the pay cut and overration of the pay there, how it's mostly gonna affect him as a quarterback there, or a cornerback there, a DB there. And so we will have to see what actually Bonitto actually has in the tank there. I think Bonitto can actually do something here. You're talking about the guy who honestly is underrated there. Michael Parsons there, getting that bigger contract there does kind of make him a little bit more cocky about this, and mostly players. We've been experiencing this stuff there with Russell Wilson there. Even you're talking about a cornerback with a DB there, edge rusher there, and technically the edge rusher with the DB there is technically Michael Parsons there. Might get a little bit cocky a little bit. I just think that there. But mostly I'm not going to talk about Michael Parsons. I'm talking about Nik Bonitto there. Bonitto needs to, mostly his contract is mostly $30,000, $34,000 there for the pay cut there. So we will have to see what Bonitto will have to do there. We'll see what the Broncos are going to have to do with Bonitto there. I think Nik Bonitto there, not Bonitto, Bonitto there, possibly could be the answer there for the Broncos there, for edge rushing there. But I think this is pretty good there. I think we need to mostly get up our trade up in values there. We need to keep Bonitto in the fucking lead there. We need to keep Bonitto in the lead there. We need to keep him there. We need to sign Nik Bonitto for another extended contract there. I think we need to extend Bonitto's contract. I think we need to extend Bonitto's contract there. Michael Parsons there, he's not as good as Bonitto. He's not. I seen his game played there. He's not as good as Nik Bonitto. Bonitto is much better than him there. And, of course, he's not against, like, TJ Watt or anybody like that. He's not the top elite guy. But mostly where the power rankings go and stuff like that, for edge rushing, Bonitto actually beats out fucking Michael Parsons by far. But if we can get him the right money there, the only reason Michael Parsons actually has more cash than Bonitto does, and that's the real thing. We need to settle a contract deal. We need to settle a massive contract deal with Nik Bonitto, and I think that's what we need to do there. We need to do this there. Sign a massive contract deal with Nik Bonitto, and to mostly say, this is our pass rush here. We need to get him more things there. So we'll see what if the Broncos can do there, and possibly extending Nik Bonitto there, and that's what we need to do. But yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. What do you guys think about Nik Bonitto needs to get his contract up there? I think he definitely need to get his contract up there, and it will definitely help us in the long run. So yeah, That's for legit. Comment, rate, response to Bros. We like to let Bros. Please subscribe for the better kitchen and super journal license. Carl out of here. Peace.